Hello and welcome to another scene for the living world of darkness. Rage across New York. Werewolf in you. Rawr, rawr, rawr. Today's scene sees Bailey and Sam meeting for milkshakes and a heart-to-heart conversation. The restaurant that they're going to is a swanky little dessert shop by the name of New Territories NYC. Bailey has changed from the clothes that she wore to go, partake in earlier shenanigans. It's been a long day for her. And she'll be waiting for Sam outside the milkshake place.
And Sam won't keep her waiting, being very considerate, and shows up also in different clothes. He shows up in khaki shorts and his best hugs shirt.
Best hugs, best shirt.
And he's not 100% lit in his smile, but you definitely still see the sparkle in his eyes. When he offers a smile and the wave, when he's several feet away and closing that gap.
Bailey will wave. Hey, Sammy boy.
Hey. How's the rest of your day been? Hopefully less eventful.
Well, it's been a pretty big day for me, so just kind of went home, tinkered a bit with the totem, and that's about it, really.
It's good. I know I didn't really get the time to say before, but congratulations.
Yeah, it is what it is. Thanks.
I've noticed that out of character, we're not at Sept, are we?
No.
Yeah. I've noticed that the locals prefer not to go by honorifics as often. Do you feel similarly, or should I?
Please just call me Bailey.
Okay.
With friends, I would feel real awkward, and nobody wants me awkward.
Know the feeling.
So, milkshakes, heart-to-heart conversation. You tell me what's on your mind.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it sounds like a plan. She'll open the door and do a gesture after you.
When he will comically curtsy to make his way in.
My God, this place is posh.
Oh, wow.
Everything's all artisan.
Is that person eating... Did they get a gold sheet on there? What?
Fucking trashes. She's just she's looking at the menu. What is all of this? Why is there black ash in that ice cream, Sam?
For the edgy ones.
She's just all of these look real weird. Or have a really weird name. Baby Prince is the closest to a normal fucking dessert they got here.
Yeah. A lot of this upper scale stuff definitely questionable. I'm definitely not going to get anything with charcoal ash in it.
She looks in the middle of the menu. The whatever. Well, I'm game if you are.
I could use a surprise. A good one.
There we go. So Bailey will order the whatever and watch as they construct ice cream. Please don't put sprinkles on that. I will pay you not to put sprinkles. on my ice cream. There's a shiny nickel for you. If you keep that shit off my ice cream. Thank you.
Me too, please.
Not a fan of Jimmy's.
That, and I can't vouch for the validity of the shininess, the patina of my nickels.
So they'll get their milkshakes and pay or whatever. Do you want to sit in a booth or do you want to go for a walk?
I think a walk might be a good idea, all things considered.
I agree. It's a lovely night, and stretching our legs will, I guess, keep us from cramping after our rather energetic exercise earlier. Yeah, she'll make her exit from the fancy ass ice cream shop.
Yeah. After some steps, where the street gets a little more quiet, and less crowded. After some bites of or some sips. After some portion of consumption, Sam just kind of pipes up, looking for where to start, and says, "So I don't want to be overbearing.
Overbearing? About what?"
Well, we already have so much to deal with, and it's kind of my job to make sure that the troops are happy and ready to keep going, tell the good story and hurrah. Just kind of does a gesture with his arm that's very hi-ho-ish. Kind of sweep that elbow, ball fist. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, that's all nice in theory, but here's how I look at it. Right now, it's just you and me talking to each other. So don't feel like you're burdening the Garou nation with with your whatever's upsetting you. You're just talking to me, Bailey.
All right. I suppose. Well, this whole deal with Iago. It's the reason I'm here, actually. I've fought them once before. Just how I got my deed name. But
Spit it out, Sam. She takes a bite of her ice cream and kind of spits out something she wasn't too fond of. I said no goddamn sprinkles.
Right. So I think the easiest place to start is it had been 2 generations since a Kapoor was born to take up the duty, so to speak. My great-grandfather, he came here from India with my infantile grandmother, and infant my infant grandmother, and she grew up with tales of his exploits and things that he knew things that he had seen, all the colors of our world. At least that's what I imagine. Fortunately, unfortunately, after I was born and got to grow up with my grandmother, there came a birthday when my parents actually explained why my grandmother acted the way she was. She's a very forgetful person, they would always say. Um, but she, as many people do later on in life, suffers from a deteriorating mind.
Oh, Sam, I'm sorry.
It's all right, I suppose. No, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Um, she can't remember. She told me just a few stories about the guardians of the forest. These noble people with wolf's blood that sought out to protect the few green places, the few pure places, and the people that inhabited it. The spirits and basically everything that turned out to be real about us. I grew up as if hearing them as fairy tales. When it came true, wow, right? How can you put into words what it's like to realize that your greatest superheroes as a child, you get to be one?
She has a look on her face like she's trying to relate, but her experience was vastly different. Uh-huh. I imagine it was just the bee's knees for you.
Oh, indeed, the bee's knees. But yeah, it. I guess as part of my coming of age, I unearthed a problem. That problem's name is Iago.
Hmm.
The way I unearthed it was troubling. Um, my grandmother takes medication for her dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And she tried something new. And things only seemed to get worse, more erratic. More important details were lost on what almost felt like a daily basis. And I brought her medication with questions to one of my superiors, and quickly identified that the medicine was bad. Take.
So what was going on? I mean, did she stop taking it?
Right away. As soon as I found out, we stopped her from taking it, and we looked into two different things. I'm sure you know about Magadon by now.
I've heard the name a couple times.
Hmm. Well, they did the manufacturing and some of the distribution, the main formula, and The main distribution was in a hospital that they had greatly sponsored in my hometown of Philadelphia. Where my grandmother's primary care physician was and recommended it. And this is part of my coming of age mission. I dug up everything I could on them, which proved to be exactly what the frontliners, the Vanguard, I suppose, exactly what they needed and more. Things went pretty much without a hitch as a result. And yes, so with my history with Iago, today was a bittersweet, I suppose. Awakened ancient feelings.
How you feeling now?
Better. And I'm going to roll my next up.
Guess I'm going to have to roll that sweet, sweet perception empathy. Open up my sheet real quick. Bailey, be more empathetic. Jesus.
Well, this might help.
Let's see. Where'd you roll?
Oh, I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, okay.
I was going to wait for you to open it.
Wenzo.
Oh, did you set up the scene?
I did not. Let's see, I can though. Now that it's already in there. Long ass name. Hold on. My milkshake brings.
Oh no!
All the Garou to the yard.
Damn right. Or if I wanted a pun, Sam right.
Alright.
So, what is my manip subby? I think it's 4. I didn't up that, so 40, 10 was 1. Wow, you beat
Holy
me again.
shit.
The dice are on your sides.
I seemed a little indecisive about you. 1s and 10s. Jesus.
Both sides of the spectrum. But yeah, he produces a smile that may seem like of the utmost genuine variety, but you see right through it, like plastic tarp. You look right into his eyes, and you see a kind of pain.
How do you do that? You know, you say you're fine, everything's fine, I'm good. But shit's obviously bugging you. If I can pick it up, somebody else is gonna see. So why are you hiding it?
Well, he kind of looks away a little bit embarrassed, with like kind of a half smile and a single huff of a nervous laugh, and says, "It's mine. It's my burden."
None of that lone wolf shit here. You know, we're very social type individuals, us locals. This whole "it's my burden to bear." I mean, if you can get some help, well, it's a relatively manageable load that you can plays a fake smile over and pretends it's all okay. Well, you know, if you let it fester, one day you're not going to be able to produce that smile. Then it'll get worse. And you know what happens with our type when things get worse.
Right. You have a point.
It's what I do. He sips at the milkshake and then wipes off the milkshake from her face. It's real dignified, like.
Just straight up forearm.
Yeah. Very, very befitting of my position.
Beautiful.
Look, just learn to talk about the shit that's bothering you. You know, don't say it's okay. It's not okay. None of this shit is okay. You know, real serious girl. Ames, Apollo's aim. She got real fucked up by this stuff. We're watching wounds open up on her, bruises reappearing. Like, the level of fucked upitude cannot be overstated. It's a fucked up situation, and pretending that we're okay with it, well, the more people pretend it's okay, the more water bottles we're going to get on the fucking lawn. People think it's okay. Just, we've got this little fix. Never mind that there's people like Sammy's grandma who are suffering because we're taking our sweet-ass time to solve something. You need to let them know you're angry. Let them know you have a reason to be angry. Maybe it'll light a fire under their ass.
Well, you know better than anyone, right? When it comes to that.
When it comes to what exactly, Sam?
I guess that's something I get. I understand that. I sympathize. Is that doing the right thing is going to upset people, and people get mad at you for standing by your convictions and believing in your cause. Makes you abrasive that your beliefs conflict with their way of life, because change is hard and inconvenient. But
my tirade about cell phones.
Well, not just that. I believe similarly about a great many things, specifically about renewable energy and you know, recycling, doing our part, everything that we can do to fix this mess that we've brought ourselves in. Not just from our side, but from everybody's side. There's something that everyone can do to help pitch in. But it dares to thumb its nose at the norm. It invites discomfort in a world that is very, very, very attuned to making things more comfortable.
There's the pursuit of comfort, and then there's that sort of build-up that numbs you to everything, I think. People think they're comfortable, but they're really they're fucking numb.
Mm-hmm.
Being outside, hearing the birds and the crickets and the whatever that fucking bug is that screams all night. All that shit, it's not uncomfortable. It's real. It's what's out there. But people want their the thick walls and the air conditioners that drowned it out, and the noise machines that imitate the crickets outside that they're fucking building up for fucking trashes. She says as she takes another sip of her milkshake. They went outdoors without having to deal with the weather. That's a lot of the world, you know? We want something beautiful, but we don't want to have to deal with any of the minor imperfections that comes along with it.
Believe I'm not sure no Big Yellow Taxi was a cover, but I believe that Counting Crows put it best. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot.
Yeah. And I think that's why all of us have a certain level of base level pissed off. You know?
That's so hard. It's so hard because even among our ranks, there's complacency and there is comfort and a certain necessity. I mean, to some degree, I even have tendencies of complacency. I not to toot my own horn, but I'm certainly more aware of them, and I do my best. But in your alpha, she drives a loud, high emission noise machine that chokes Gaia.
Yeah. Well, people have a way of looking outward, but avoiding mirrors. I don't know. Can't say I agree with Cammy on everything. She's got a heart in the right place. But sometimes there's a word in my tribe. Trasher. Most people are trashers. Where you need the latest and greatest. You need something that you don't really need. And you're just generating this shit. This massive mountain of stuff in your wake. Stuff that's perfectly good, but not good enough for you. And I can't say that all of our locals are immune to such trasher behavior.
So distressing.
Do you know there's a way to make a water distillery like the one I made, the big ass one I made, using 2 empty water bottles? We could have, with if they had taken 10 seconds to fucking Google, they could have learned how to do it. You don't even need a stove or anything. You just take it outside. You let the sun do the work for you. They had to wait until I fucking made a big ass machine, some big shiny ass thing. Because the very idea of finding a way to use the trash to prevent more trash is just not something people tend to do.
And and Sam has a very noteworthy big inhale, and an exhale, and he just looks in the ground in some manner of shame. Just kind of says, "I'm sorry."
For what?
I was the one who distributed those bottles, put the idea in everyone's head.
Did you know that they were gonna sit there and decide that it was the long-term solution?
Well, no.
If they had told you that that was their intention, would you have fed off of it? Would you have allowed that? Would you have, if you had known ahead of time, would you have suggested water bottles?
Of course not.
All right, then. Look, a mere suggestion as a temporary fix. That's one thing. If it was like, cool, we're going to go burn down this place this weekend, but until then, we've got a pallet of water bottles. Please make sure you recycle. If that had been the message or the intention, that's one thing. If you had actually said, you know, this is what we're going to do from now on, then I'd have an issue with you. You seem kind of bothered by this stuff too, you know?
It's important. Everyone thinks that the Glasswalkers just transcend the cyber realm and create more trashers.
Fucking trashes.
And to some degree, they're not wrong. Technological advancements are very important. To some degree. Maybe not in the way of a phone that's slightly larger and has a higher processing power. But there are advancements that are good. And I know you know that. But
I mean, yeah, sure. There's modern medicine that isn't poison. There's, I don't know, stuff that helps us navigate better. I like vehicles. I don't drive all that often because I'm broke as a motherfucker. But I can appreciate a good vehicle. But we should be pushing ourselves to do better. You know? Fixing things. Using the brains that Gaia bestowed upon us to maybe not fucking turn around and spit on her face.
that's why I'm proud of my day job. I like to think that maybe I can make a difference. The people that don't understand. Be surprised how many people out there just don't understand the impact of what they do because of the complacency, the apathy. Guarantee that there are probably hundreds upon thousands of people that don't understand that leaving the sink running while you're brushing your teeth is an immense waste.
People look at trash and they think that merely by touching it, it makes them somehow dirty or impure. They manage to somehow get comfortable with the idea that merely making contact with litter wasn't going to contaminate them with some plague. Then I think we'd all manage to do a lot better. You know? Turn your disposable cups into planters, that sort of thing.
Nods.
But I don't get a trasher vibe off of you, Sammy. Just because somebody took your good intention and turned it into a big fucking mess, it wasn't your fault.
Thank you.
She like takes like the spoon that's jammed into the milkshake and does like the holy water sprinkle on him. Like, I absolve you of your sins.
Hey.
You're the one taking it all serious and reverential like. She goes back to finishing off what's left of her milkshake.
No, and yeah, as soon as she like averts her gaze, I'll do the same with this spoon.
Ugh.
Uh-huh.
Great. Now I'm gonna be all sticky.
Uh-huh. So fun now. Alright, it's a little fun.
Yeah. So you feeling any better? You still need to talk about stuff? If so, open up.
Really, that's what was on my mind.
Oh,
There
if you...
is
Yeah, go ahead.
there is one thing.
Fire
And
away.
I hope I'm not crossing a line by asking this. But I noticed something amiss at the jazz concert. And you're not beholden to give me an answer. And I won't be offended if you'd prefer not to discuss it. But I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about Jersey.
It's not a happy story. If you want to know though, I think you can go sit in my Winnebago and I'll I'll give you the lowdown. She and she like will lead through like the subway until they get to like where her Winnebago is parked outside of the apartment that she occasionally sleeps in that she shares with the pack. It is evident though, if you go in the Winnebago, that there is a lot of time spent, like more time spent there than inside. Before you freak out, I don't drive this thing. This is not my work vehicle or anything like that. This is strictly to keep the rain off my forehead. You know, people get upset seeing you sleeping outside. So somebody gave me an inside to sleep in. Please have a seat. Mi casa is su casa.
Of course, thank you very much.
She like takes her cup and like sets it aside. She probably will make a planter out of it later or something. And she like sits down and she steeples her fingers under her chin for a bit, stretches her neck. All right, so what exactly about Jersey do you want to know?
I suppose it might be easier to answer that question if I knew what I was looking for, but it's certainly something that causes you pain, and if you're going to alleviate mine, then perhaps there's a way that discussing yours might alleviate some from you.
Maybe. All right. I didn't really know my dad growing up. I mean, presumably, I always assumed presumably there was a dad, but it was always me and my mom. She worked like 3 jobs just to barely keep us fucking fed, you know? And she wasn't too good at the niceties like you and I here. She, Bailey don't wait for a fucking man. You have to take care of your own shit. And, she followed that advice real well. I was never subjected to any shitty boyfriends on my mom's side there. Unfortunately, she worked herself right to death when I was about 16 years old.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Lived in this real shitty trailer park. It was like one of those ones that's like underneath the radio towers and shit. Like even cockroaches ain't fucking living there, but you can imagine the sorts that do. The sorts who see that there's a 16-year-old girl who needs to make payments on her mom's trailer. and are real eager to make some sort of arrangement. You tracking what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, I'm trying to hope for the best, but
Well, I know you were real excited finding out that you were a superhero and all, but I went through a cycle of a lot of these assholes. One of them, this this real lovely individual who liked to be called Snake. He and I had been shacked up together for about maybe 4 months, maybe 3. I lose track. He used to get drunk, and he usually only like threw shit like close to me. But whatever the fuck he drank that night, it made him decide to start throwing fists. And then feet. She pulls back her cheek and shows like a crown. Like it's not a high quality one at all. And like next to it is a slight gap as well. Yeah, broke this tooth, kicked out this one. And I'm pretty sure he fucking managed to put a slight crack in my jaw because it hurt like a motherfucker. And I curled up in a ball as he was kicking me. And then everything just started to go red. And the last thing I said before I started snarling was, my turn. And by the time my good-for-nothing dad finally showed up, I had punched this lovely individual through the floor of my trailer into the dirt below. And it took him a while to get me calm.
Over the course of this story, there's I wouldn't say an analytic look on Sam's face, but he's certainly taking it in. And very quickly, the expression on his face can be described as a worry, the intensity of such an intensity that you would swear that he was a relative.
She'll pause for a moment, and she bites her thumbnail. And it was a long time ago. You know, you don't have to worry about it. It's shitty, and it's not great to like think about it, but I like to move forward. So, anyways, my pops and his sister are my kin. They took me to the set. It was set in this fucking junkyard. That's where I was brought up, real nice and polished. Like she says, she just kind of like say like I am obviously bonar all the way through, and it wasn't too much fucking different. Just you know, the people who were kicking my ass, I had to call Raya, and every day it ended with the same fucking command. Take out the fucking trash, Bailey. Usually with like a kick. Anyways, my rite of passage. I got this a real fun nickname here, deed name here. Just there was there was this guy who came by, talked to one of the kin we had out front, who was posing as the owner of the junkyard, you know? And this guy tried to sell him wolf dogs for protecting our junkyard. And the warder told me to go check it out. Were they actual wolves, or was it just somebody pawning off some angry dogs? And when I got there, they were wolves. They were wolves on real short, heavy chains. Some of them weren't going to make it, you know? They had obviously been beaten and overbred, and they were chained up because no self-respecting wolf wants to be fucked by a goddamn dog. So I went back and I told them. And one last time they told me, take out the fucking trash, Bailey. So I did. And for the sake of your well-being, I will spare you some of the more gruesome details. But afterwards, I got my deed name, became a Cleith, and got the fuck out of Jersey.
I think maybe someday. Well, I'm not much of a superhero myself, but maybe someday we could go back and right some of those wrongs.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not exactly overly apologetic for what I did. You should have seen the state of those wolves, Sammy. Have you ever... Yeah. The look in their eyes. All of us have got this spark of wild to us, you know, that sort of come closer and I'll bite your motherfucking face off. They were defeated, Sam. They were defeated and just being used to make some fucker money off of their puppies.
Experience with the lupus is incredibly limited, but I have the utmost respect for them and their kin. I couldn't begin to imagine. He doesn't like look down, but he's definitely avoiding eye contact. His brows are in peak worry position. He says, tell you about my first change, and I kindly ask that you never repeat it.
Oh, your secret's safe with me, Superman.
And Sam reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pair of glasses and puts them on. He says, I was young. And I had got my first job. I was very excited for it because it was prestigious. It was very prestigious. It didn't exactly encompass my degree. I went to college. The major, I have a degree, my bachelor's in journalism. with a minor in mathematics. But I pursued my passion of writing, and my very first job was for a video game company, Black Dog Studios.
Jesus.
And I was hired on to help in the writing and conceptualization department. And I wanted to turn the fairy tales I grew up with into something that everyone could enjoy. So I wrote about I wrote about scenarios where certain forests were in danger, and you, as the player character, were to protect it as part of the story. And every time I submitted my concept and my story, it was rejected. He said it wasn't graphic enough. It wasn't violent enough. It wasn't going to sell because it wasn't violent enough. And I said maybe the focus should be on destroying the forest. If you're going to play a large, very intimidating creature. And
she lets out like that, like, disapproving sound that, you know.
But Sam doesn't laugh like that. But Sam nods and he says, every time I would make it a little more violent, but the message was still the same. I'd like to say I couldn't count how many times I had written an entire game and had been told to completely start over. But unfortunately, the answer to that question is the number in question is 12. I wrote the same game 12 times. Each time a little more violent, a little further from how it was supposed to be. And when I had finished writing something that I thought was almost complete and utter garbage, but still at least held a positive truth and meaning, it was quite literally smacked out of my hands. And my editor and producer were all but a step away from almost literally pissing on it. And that was the first time I lost control. But unfortunately, that room did not only have those two gentlemen in it. It was a rather populated room. And only one person made it out. Then Sam just looks down.
We don't have control, Sammy. That's everyone's story has that sort of fucked up quality to it. You know, I managed to beat an asshole to a bloody pulp, but who's to fucking say it couldn't have been, you know, around my mother before, you know, it couldn't have been around her. Maybe she was, what if she had been too tired Sunday to deal with my specific brand of bullshit? we all have our heartbreaking stories. And the first change, it's usually a pretty momentous one.
Not exaggerating when I say that not even the ceiling was exempt from the remodeling.
And she looks like almost like sort of proud of him for the like wave of destruction of a place that would encourage like making the Garou like destroy the forest. Like, oh, they kept sending it back, eh? Make it more violent. Well, yeah, you showed them, didn't you? Here's what more violent looks like. So, if a face could say all of those things, that's what it's saying. But you know, she is trying to comfort him. Like, look, I'm not gonna judge you. There's a lot of really rough stories out there, and nobody's gonna tell you that they had their first change and then went out and picked a bouquet of daisies. You know.
He nods. I've heard tales of the blessed few.
Yeah. Everybody knows a guy who knows a guy. I'm not saying that there is an absolute zero in that department, but I'm pretty sure that the grand majority, it's shitty stories.
And he nods and runs his hands over his face. He's not misty-eyed or red-nosed, but there is some light distress in his face. He doesn't exactly look sleepless, but there's there's the look.
You all right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
You need a place to crash. You can sleep in the Winnie, and I will go upstairs to keep Cammy and Co. company.
No, that's fine. I recently got settled into my apartment, and I actually got permission to use the roof.
Nice. And if this city had absolutely anything for stars, it'd be even nicer.
If ever you're feeling adventurous, get a half-decent view. Getting some of the kin on Sept that are adept at carpentry to help use some recycled materials to make the furniture.
Well, I ain't particularly directed at wood or nothing, but if you want something welded together, I can probably piece something together for you out of recycled materials as well.
He nods with a smile. Like that. You could help me make a simple awning.
An awning, I don't know, another fucking distillery. Maybe some moonshine this time.
I couldn't even think. Moonshine.
I guess you have to be from a certain part of the poor underclass to really appreciate moonshine.
Perhaps it requires a certain amount of hair on one's chest.
She looks at her own chest. I mean, give us the right form and we have plenty out of the way, right?
Point. You have a point.
Gotta be Krynos to enjoy moonshine. But do you need someone to help you be seen home safely or something? I can be an escort. Make sure no one impugns upon your honor.
I am a delicate flower.
Yeah, you'll toughen up over time, I'm sure.
Hey, I was joking.
Oh, of course you were. So was I.
Who am I kidding?
It's all right, man. Not not everybody needs to be a goddamn roughneck, you know? There's beauty in the world. Shit, even Bona's got our poets. Got the Frank Wheelers. Hey, you laugh, but even the people that are the very bottom of the totem pole, and poor is an understatement of what we are. We have people who appreciate art and culture.
Of course, I would never.
It's all right. I'm just teasing you, Sammy. I'm sure you're fine. I trust you to have my back, even if I do want you to shoot in front of me.
He produces a half smile and a nod.
You're good people. There's not enough of them in the world, you know? Just because you're not going to be all brouhaha, bringing the, laying upon the fists or whatever. Your strengths lie elsewhere.
Well,
I'm not exactly out there wrestling bears or nothing. Rumors of my conquest over the Mokole have been greatly exaggerated.
I've always known, right? I've always known. Not on the front line with the Aruns, but they don't know that.
Yeah, runes, they're a real severe lot. But those of us who are a little stronger in our mental capacities, this is our, I don't know, leg days. we get to be blessed with the knowledge that there should be a certain amount of counterbalance to that shit. We can, if we all go in there acting like we're the goddamn maroon, what the fuck are we fighting for? That's how the goddamn war of rage happened. Too many hot tempers.
And his smile fades. He nods in agreement.
We need more people like you, Sammy. Got plenty of people who are willing to break necks. I'm among them sometimes. I think you might be too. But when we calm down, the side of the line we calm down too. That's the important thing. You calm down and you're still willing to bite a hole through somebody's face, then you ain't calming down enough, you know?
It's too true.
So don't beat yourself up over it. You know, you're picking on one of my friends when you do.
And yeah. Yeah, he has a certain magic in his smile when he looks up at that comment. And he shifts a little bit. He seems to hesitate. But ultimately does nothing. Just says thank you. I'll do my best.
I'm sure it'll be great.
This was nice.
It was. Next time we should find a milkshake place that understands the when somebody says no sprinkles, they mean no sprinkles. But it was nice. We should hang out more.
I don't have much in the way of favorite spots, so you'll have to indulge me.
I mean, I just got here not too much before you did, Sam, so I know where a pretty decent dumpster is around the park. Are you the type who likes to scrounge for food?
I suppose I could avoid clipping my nails, maybe just once.
Think of it as a, what do they call it? A freegan.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm quite familiar with a freegan.
Do your part, the guy. Eat your garbage.
I think I'll do a different part. Thank you.
Yeah. It takes a special stomach, I guess. So, anyways, yeah, Bailey does her own like it's getting late sort of thing.
Sam nods. We'll have to explore the city sometime, but there's a lot of work to do, and I should get up early to do that. I'll leave you in peace.
Well, I'm sure we'll run into each other again. We tend to be on the team that seems to do quite a bit of the work around here.
Wouldn't be on any other team. Nods emphatically.
Team exhausted. Report to duty, water.
And after the last die down, he very firmly offers out his hand to shake.
She'll give him a shake, and then she like pulls him in to give him like a hug. It'll be all right, Sam.
He's slow to it, but he slowly reaches a hand up to pat her back.
Give real awkward hugs there, friend. She says as she's slowly patted. All right. I'm not as fragile as I look. I know I have a delicate demeanor, but
I'm used to this. So.
What, friends? Jesus. We need to introduce you to some more friendly types.
Sure. Sure. I know, hopefully that won't distract too much of my time.
Well, you know, all work and no play, etc., etc., etc. All right, Sammy. Well, you have a good night.
And, you take it easy.
That's how I do every day.
I should think of something less foot and mouth to say. Scratches the back of his head. And, he'll offer a wave and walk away on that note.
She waves and closes the door to Winnebago. And yeah, that's where we'll end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you next time.